some major changes coming. I've kind of talked about this in the past, and things are really kind of picking up the pace. I didn't expect things to happen this fast. So as you notice, I've been working pretty hard around the place, repairing chainsaws, and got myself a weed trimmer, was able to repair that. Cut down a tree that was too close to the power line. We took steps to prevent it from falling into the power line. We didn't just cut it down, we trimmed the limbs out. And now I got a pile of wood that I got to split up. Did that, I think, yesterday's video, day before yesterday's video. So, but we're getting ready to get another week's of rain. And I tell you, the rain is, it's just been too much this year. So I wanted to talk to you about these changes that I've been doing. So as you know, well, you may know, well, some people didn't know, I have been trying to do a business. I don't even know if I want to call it a business, a hobby or something, where I'm repairing people's lawnmowers. Just a shade tree mechanic, nothing professional. You know, pick up some tools here and there as needed. But really what I got is a Walmart set. You can pick it up, I think, for 40 bucks. I might get myself a new set. And then you just pick up some pieces that you don't have. But really, I think I got a lot of them. And what you don't know, or what you need to learn, YouTube is a plethora of information. I mean, things I used to think were hard to do, like head gasket changes, are actually quite simple. They really make it easy to understand, some of these YouTubers do. So I've always had a lot of success at rebuilding, or repairing, I should say, lawnmowers, small engines. I've been pretty good at it my entire life. My grandpa, when I was 10 through 14 years old, we would put lawnmowers together and rebuild them and fix them, and he just enjoyed doing that with me. I enjoyed doing it too. So all my life I've worked on them. I don't know, 15 years ago I kind of did it on the side. Nothing fancy, probably not even as fancy as what I'm doing now. The neighbor would say, hey, can you look at my lawnmower? Sure. And then I'd look at it, fix it. How much do I owe you? Well, you know, I don't know, $20 for the part, and whatever you think I'm worth, that kind of thing. So I've been kind of really pushing this idea. And there's two things that we're trying to do. First thing I've been doing is I've been posting in the groups, Facebook groups around in the area. You know, there's a town near us that has a Facebook group, and I'll post in there lawnmower repair, chainsaw, weed eater, that kind of stuff. And I've gotten a huge response. I didn't expect this big of a response. Now I realize that we're kind of right in the middle of opening season of grass cutting season, and people's lawnmowers are starting to break and all that stuff. Or they didn't start up in the first place, so they've been trying to figure out what they're going to do. And so I've gotten a lot of bites, but I haven't gotten any customers except for one. I'm pretty sure I got one. I ordered parts. Talked to her yesterday. Yeah, she says that she wants just an oil change and spark plugs and air filtering, you know, just regular maintenance. And she had a belt that fell off that she wants to put back on, or replace the belt. So one of the things I thought I'd do, an oil change. I mean, do you take a lawnmower over to a repair shop to do an oil change, or can you get someone to come over and do it? So I thought, you know, on these kind of simple things, I could just go over and do it if it's not too far away. So this woman lives 17 miles away, which is starting to get to the point where I'm thinking, you know, that's starting to get out of hand. Now, we live in a poor community, so I've been trying to keep the prices relatively cheap. I'm not trying to get rich off one person. You know, it's not like I got a lot to do. So if I get a lot of work, I'll just go through it one at a time and do the best I can to get through them. And if I get too busy, I'll just say, look, I got a lot of stuff to do, so you can either wait, and I apologize, or you can take it to a regular mechanic. One of the other things I've been offering is I can come pick it up for you, bring it over here. You know, people realize I'm just a shade tree mechanic. I'm not a real, you know, got my own shop and been doing it for 5,000 years. Now, the second aspect of it, which I think is probably more relevant than trying to find customers, is buying or finding lawnmowers cheap or free and rebuilding them, making them like new, without spending a lot of money. Again, there's a lot of YouTubers out there. Well, there's a YouTuber that I watch who does that. They'll go around these, town and have a throw all your junk to the curb thing, and he'll pick up one, looks in terrible condition, he'll bring it home, and then he starts analyzing what's the cheapest method of doing things. Rebuilding an air carburetor, or buying a new carburetor, or, those kind of things. Of course, the more time you spend on it, you got to analyze all that. Is it worth it? For example, you get a lawnmower here and it needs a carburetor. Now, carburetors are just dirt cheap online. A carburetor for a chainsaw, 15 bucks. Carburetor for a lawnmower, 20 bucks. I mean, it's just not that expensive. But that being said, if your margins are really tight, let's say you pick up a free lawnmower and you put $50 worth of parts on it, but lawnmowers in your area are only going for, push mowers, $75. Is it really worth it? You just, you're making 25 bucks. But he cleans them up real nice and just constantly analyze the parts. Of course, 25 bucks, 25 bucks. So if you don't have anything to do, it's the way to go. And the other thing it does is it lines up the front of your place with lawnmowers, and people know, hey, this guy's selling lawnmowers. Or you take them to a flea market. And when I was a kid, flea markets were a big thing. I don't think I've seen a flea market since I was 15 years old. I know down in Peevely, Missouri, I used to live down there in Herculaneum. They had it used to be a drive-in theater. During the day, they'd have these huge flea markets. And I think it was like the world's largest flea market it was advertised as. But man, I haven't seen them around too often. But yeah, I mean, imagine that. You pull in with a few lawnmowers, push mowers, and chainsaws. Surely you could sell something. And Carolyn does crochet. And so, she could set up right next to me, crochet and lawnmowers. And this is just to fill the time, primarily. YouTube, goes up and down in revenue. So if you could supplement your income, $500 a month maybe. This lady that I'm getting ready to charge to do the oil change, I'm charging $35 for the labor. Not a lot, but if you can get 10 of those, that's 350 bucks. And can you do 10 in a month? Or 15, so you get $500. I know that's not a lot of money. Everybody wants big money, but I don't need big money. I just need a little bit of money. The nice thing about what I'm doing is I can do this until I'm old, real old, just like YouTube. As long as YouTube is around, I'll be making videos. It's a pain. I don't always like doing it. There are times I just want to give up on it, but I'll always do it because there's some money. So if there's some money and it's not that difficult to do, I can sit at a computer and edit, sit in front of the camera and talk, and there's making some money, then it's worth the time. Same thing with the lawnmower. As long as I can come out and turn a wrench, I'll be fine. I can do it. You can even do it in a wheelchair if you had to. There would be some things that would be more difficult than others, but in general, you should be able to do it. And the more you get into it, the better the tools you have. So it's something I can do forever, because think about it, Social Security is not going to be around when I retire. I got about 10 more years, and I'm pretty confident that it's not going to be around. I've been paying into it, and that's the thing that's so frustrating. I've been self-employed most of my life, so I have to pay a higher Social Security than everybody else. Everybody else pays 7.5%. Your company picks up the other 7.5%. I have to pay the full 15%. So I've been paying into it, and it's going to go broke. I admit, I don't have a garage where I can store a lot of lawnmowers and different things, and so we're not going to become a junkyard here. No more than 2 lawnmowers sitting here at a time that need worked on. I don't care if there's a whole line of clean, new, freshly fixed lawnmowers sitting up there for sale. That's fine. Of course, I'd like to sell them. If I pick up a lawnmower somewhere for free, I'll wait until it's finished or near finished before I get another one. And I don't want to spend a lot of money traveling to get these things. So, I'm trying to limit how far my searches are. I saw one YouTuber says, I'll drive 500 miles to pick up a free lawnmower. Well, you drive 500 miles, you invested $100, $200 in gas money, plus all your time. Is it really worth it anymore? I'm not sure. Especially if you don't know what's really wrong with it. If you got to rebuild the engine, let's just say the engine is completely toast. There's a crack in the casing. So you have to just buy a new engine. Was that really worth it? I mean, you can part it out, you can scrap it, take it to the scrap yard, but to spend several $100s to do that, I don't know if it's worth it. So I'm trying to be cautious. The other thing I've been advertising on these groups is if you got old junky lawnmowers or chainsaws or anything you want to get rid of, let me know. I'll come pick them up. That would be a lot easier. If I got to drive 17 miles, that's a lot better than 500 miles. The other thing is I've been doing these on YouTube, and I've gotten mixed results on the views. I've got to get better at making these YouTube videos and explaining what I'm doing and giving you more detail. I recognize that even when I watch my own videos, I'm not near as interested in the video as I am some of these other lawnmower mechanics. So I just got to get better at trying to figure out how to get the camera angles in there better and talking while I'm working. One person makes the video and then edits it while he's speaking, so he can speak while he's editing. I'm not that good. You'd have to write a script, and I'm not that good at it. I would prefer to talk while I do. So I might have to work on that, so just to keep people's interest in it. The other thing I would suggest watching my videos, living off grid. People want to live off grid. Living off grid doesn't mean that every day is going to be taking care of the animals and sitting out here in the green eating watermelon. That's not what it's all about. I know that's the dream. My dream is to reduce my stress level. That's what my dream was, and I think that's what everybody's dream is. They just don't really know what the dream is, but when they really dig down, I bet that's what it is. Just to reduce the stress, reduce the workload, which I've accomplished. I don't have a huge stressful workload. So, but I still got to make money. There's a couple things to this. You can do what everybody else does in the world. Buy a lawnmower, it breaks down, you give it to someone else, they charge you. That means you got to go out and get a job, work for that money, so you can pay this guy to repair your lawnmower. Or you can do what I do and not work for an employer, make a little bit of money here or there wherever you can, YouTube, repairing lawnmowers, and repair your own lawnmower. A fraction of the cost repairing your own lawnmower, then sending it off to someone else. So living off grid, that's kind of what it is. Kind of. When you think about it, what my philosophy is try not to rely on people to take care of you, whether you got money to pay them. So if you can repair your own lawnmower, why wouldn't you? It's not that hard, and YouTube just makes everything so easy, including identifying. I mean, there's three things that goes wrong with a lawnmower engine. It's either electrical, carburetor, or compression. That's it. That's all there is. I want to show you as I go along what I do to repair lawnmowers or chainsaws or weed eaters, things that everybody uses. And then when you have a problem with your lawnmower or weed eater, you don't have to send it out. And I'm telling you, changing a carburetor is so simple. You get online, and there's several ways you can look for it. You can type in the model number of your equipment, so your lawnmower. Or if you got the part number of the carburetor, let's say you want to replace the carburetor, you just type in the carburetor number, and the thing is it comes with everything. Spark plugs and gas filters and gaskets and hoses. They come with everything. It's incredible how much stuff you get with a carburetor. They're just so cheap. But they're aftermarket. Okay, they're aftermarket. So let's say you have to buy 3 aftermarket carburetors in the lifetime of your piece of equipment. So you're up, what, $45? Now take that lawnmower to a mechanic. You're going to be out $100. So the aftermarket, that's just an excuse to say I don't want to do it. I want to have someone else do it. And you get the satisfaction of doing it. I think it's a great hobby. I really enjoy just sitting there working on them. And I will admit, I've gotten away from it. When I was younger, I loved working on things. And I think I just forgot how much I liked working on equipment. And now I'm getting back into it a little bit. I used to have a huge tool set. I mean, huge tool set. And, it's all gone now. I don't want to build that tool set back up. I mean, it was useless to have that much. And as old as I am, I'm not sure it's worth it. And considering with a lawnmower, there's just not that many pieces of equipment that you need to work on them. You can get fancy, get the impact wrenches and all that. And that's a want, not a need. Right now, I just got to get the tools that I need, not things I want. You know, I was looking at a spark plug tester, and it was only 15 bucks. And I thought, oh yeah, I could get a spark plug tester, but I don't need that tool. That's just a want. I can check the spark plug by simply looking to see if it's got a spark. I hope that you will enjoy following along and learning with me and how much customers I can pick up. I mean, I've only been doing this for a week, and I already got a customer. I've already been to somebody's house to determine if the lawnmower was even worth fixing. Maybe in a month or two, I'll have business rolling out of my ears. So if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you to a video where I was working on something. So I hope I can inspire you to relax and enjoy life, but make money while you're at it, so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.